Yes! Woo! Alright. Woohoo! Yeah. I swear I'm more mature than those previous seconds have indicated. So why am I so excited? Because this episode nails everything on the head. The comedy is great, the action's great, the family moments are also pretty good, if a little bit cheesy. It just all fits together in a nice package that hasn't been seen in this season so far. So the episode starts out with Korra's parents being taken away by Unalaq in the nice police van they have. I'm not sure if I'm used to the new technologies in these shows. It's kind of different. And Korra is very reluctant to let her parents go, but she's still really doe-eyed around Unalaq for some reason. She still trusts him, still naive, still gullible. What's written on the ceiling? Unalaq. Unalaq's written on the ceiling. So they're taken away, and it cuts to a scene in Tarek's house. You see Mako and Bolin and Asami sitting there, and Korra comes in and is like, where is Tarek? I don't know where he went to. And Bolin's like, well, my crazy girlfriend is in here, so this place is awesome. The minute he says that, of course, she opens the door and they walk in and are looking for Tarek because he's a traitor, whatever. And after they leave, Tarek opens the mouth of a platypus bear. Yes, a platypus bear. And he's hiding inside this platypus bear, and he asks for coffee, and Julie, his assistant, raises the cup from inside, and she's sharing the platypus bear with him. Also, Tarek gives Bolin a bunch of money to pay off the judge. Of course, Bolin completely misunderstands what it's for, and he doesn't know how to do this. Cut scene, and we're at the trial, and Bolin's saying, I paid off some guys to the side, and I told them to take care of it, yeah. And oh god. The judge walks up and Bolin says, I should have paid him off, and Asami just, of course you should have. The judge finds Korra's mother innocent and her father and all of the other rebels guilty and sentences them to death, which is the sentence for treason, of course. And Korra says, if you kill them, I kill you. And you can see a really brief flash of the judge's face. He looks really concerned. And Unalaq walks over and says, no, wait, I forgive them. You should lessen their sentence a little bit. And then the judge says, okay, life in prison instead of being killed. Awesome, right? Korra's mother is pretty devastated by the news, of course, and you see a scene of her crying and Korra vowing to do something. And it cuts scene to Korra doing something completely rash and hot-headed, which is so true of her character. Except this time she's doing it to the right people. She's riding Naga and chasing after this car that has the judge in it, and she bowls over the car, and Naga opens her mouth and screams, and the judge is all frightened, and Korra basically extorts him. And he confesses to being Unalaq's underling, basically. Unalaq told him to fix the trial, and Unalaq told him all sorts of things, including the fact that he framed Korra's father a long time ago and made it so that those barbarians would attack and made them go to the spirit forest, which made him banished in the first place so that he could take over the crown. And finally the veil is lifted from Korra's eyes and she understands how bad he actually is. Oh, finally. Previously at the trial, of course, Bolin tries to break up with Eska once again. She takes this as a marriage proposal and has a carved necklace for him already, and it's a skull, of course. You know, it fits her character pretty well. They're meeting back at Tarek's house to discuss a plan to save her father and the other rebels, and Bolin walks in with a really bad haircut with a poof sticking out, of course, and Pavu has a similar hairstyle and clothing style. He's got the betrothal necklace around his neck. Bolin was going to help anyway, but if he can stick it to Unalaq, he can get away from his crazy daughter. So they go to the prison, they try to bust him out, but Unalaq's there and says, he's not here, you'll never see your father again, and all this stuff, and tells them exactly where he is, of course. You know, the bad guys in every cartoon show ever giving away their master plan. In this case, giving away the location of the Avatar's father, which of course she's going to go get him. And there's a really sweet, really short action sequence between her and Unalaq, and Mako helps a little bit. It doesn't actually do very much. And with a surprise burst of airbending, he gets knocked back and they go free and go chase after the ship that her father is on. So Tarek is still in the platypus bear costume with Julie, and they're walking through town. They're trying to get to his ship so they can catch it. And the guards are suspicious, of course. And so when they're starting to ask a lot of questions that they can't answer, he looks down and says, Julie, do the thing. And money just comes out of the platypus bear's butt. And there's a guy that goes, "That platypus bear is pooping money!" And everyone freaks out. And they make it onto the ship and they float away in pursuit of the ship that carries Korra's father. But they have to get past some other northern ships before that, so Korra goes into the Avatar state, along with the help of Asami and Mako on a plane to get her close enough, and she bends the water to pull the ships apart. And they go barreling past and make it to the ship, and there's a nice action sequence of Korra just kicking everyone's butt and breaking into the cell and setting her father free, and explaining exactly why they're going after him and why Unalaq's an awful guy, because he didn't know he was betrayed by his brother. Now he does. Korra's father asks her to get help from the United Forces so they can win the war against the North, instead of helping them directly. And in the final scenes before the end of the episode, they look out and they're like, "What is that?" And Bolin takes the the telescope, whatever it's called, and sees, of course, Eska's waterbending on the water with incredibly smeared mascara, and she's pissed off. She's been crying, yeah. And the episode ends on a, swelling, dramatic music thing, as if this is a super dramatic moment. I guess it kind of is, because she's crazy. That's not even the entire episode, though, because there's a segment of Tenzin and his family at the air temple, where he finds Ikki, and they're playing with these baby water buffalo? No, air bison. Yeah, is that what they're called? And he has kind of an introspective moment, and you cut to the other part of his family, and they have kind of an introspective moment, and his little daughter has an introspective moment, and they all come back together, and a lot of forgiveness happens. So that's nice. I was kind of hoping that they would develop the thing with his other daughter, where she sees the statue and is glowing, but maybe we'll get some more about that in the coming episodes. So yeah, that was the second part of the Civil War's duology. Is that a word? I don't even know. I think this is the best episode of Legend of Korra second season so far. It's a lot better than some of the episodes in the first season, but not better than the best episodes in the first season, in my opinion. I will say, however, this is probably the funniest episode of Korra there has been total across both seasons. It's hilarious. It's good. I think you can tell I'm trying to stay away from saying really a whole bunch of times. This episode has everything that I was wanting out of the series, gives me hope for the direction that the series is going, because so far, it hasn't been that good. The first couple episodes were okay. The third one was fine. I enjoyed it fine. And this episode was great. It was the first great episode of the season, and I'm so happy that it happened. My enthusiasm about this franchise and about this series is elevated quite a bit because of this episode, and I'm hoping that other episodes beyond it keep to a similar level of quality. But yeah, I loved the show. I loved the episode. I'm so excited to see more and see where this is going. I think that the series is going in the right direction, and I hope that it continues to be as high quality as this one has been. Also, feel free to comment and subscribe if you are into that. I really, really appreciate all of the comments that I do end up getting, although most of the time they're from people I know, since my channel is kind of on the down low right now. Also, if this is your first video with me and you're interested in seeing more, I've got a link to the playlist that has the other videos on it. Everything is wonderful, and I hope you have a nice day.